Well, hello, hello. I hope everyone is doing well. Yes, I am back, coming live. I know it has been a while and I've missed you all. But yes, we are, I think, all set. Good morning, Vicky. How are you? Zoom you in a little bit. We are going to do some collaging. I've got to make some Christmas cards for gifts for my husband for work. And I've already did some pre-cutting so you didn't have to hear me do that. So I'm using my card bases that are already pre-made that I've found. And I think these are a great start. Now, these measure 4 by 5.5, so they're a little bit different in size. Good morning, Kelly. How are you? So yeah, 4 by 5.5. And then I have the base mat, which is cut the same, 4 by 5.5. And then I have a craft mat that we'll be working on, which is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So when we layer them up, we'll have the black that will cover the white. I never worry about my card base cover if it's not matching what I'm doing, because we're going to have a vintage feel with this. I'll cover the entire front, and then, who minds the color of the card base, and then this mat will go over with all of the decorations and papers and stuff like that that we will add to it. Um, So we're going to be working off of these and then layering them up. So I have these. I pulled out for my sentiments. I'm going to use the ideology. This is from 2024, the sticker book. We're just going to choose some of those to decorate. I have our Christmas paper dolls. If I want to add those, I have the Christmas ephemera packs, and then I also have the Emporium, the layers, which are bigger pieces. And then, what else did I grab? I'm going to grab some vintage Christmas papers that I have no idea where they're at, but I'm going to grab my scraps for that. Good morning, Kadelia. How are you doing? Um, we're going to do all kinds of collaging, Kelly, vintage style. So we know that means the vintage photo will be coming in. Good morning, Gwen. I hope you are all doing well. We have, excuse me, the winter wonderland here in my area. We got snow. So we might hear the whirl of the snow blowers and the shovels going in the neighborhood. So I apologize for that. And hopefully, the winds are going to be picking up. That's our next thing. So in case, we lose power, that's why. Okay. Let me grab my scraps because they're always a pleasure to dig into and see what we've got. And I know in some of my scraps I have some coffee dyed papers, which might be nice to use, and some other papers as well. Because remember, we can use any papers we want, even something this bright. We just put our vintage photo around it to bring it into that style. So let's get started doing all of those fun things. Let's get to it. So how is everyone doing? Oh no, Cordelia, and you're down in the south at 21 degrees. Yeah, we're going to be in the teens tonight. Hello, Beth. How are you doing? Oh, don't wake up crabby, Cordelia. I always wake up crabby. Absolutely. All right. So again, I'm going to be working on these bases and just creating a background of sorts. Nothing too crazy. I've got all kinds of pieces that are cut. I don't care. I'm not looking to fill up the entire thing like we would a master board. Just looking to have pieces in here, and then we can cut them away because we're going to add our ephemera pieces. So let's get going. So lots of inking, lots of all the fun things. All right, well, I kind of like this piece. So is everyone getting ready for the holidays? Because I am not. But yeah, I've missed you guys for the past 2 weeks. Got through my craft showcase. Good morning, Shay. It was a wonderful showcase. Me and my sister, we had a lot of fun I enjoy talking with everyone and seeing everyone. No, I am not ready either, Cordelia, not in any way, shape, or form. Yes. But I will be. I know I will get ready. I have not even put my decorations up yet. I know. But I'll be doing that this week. And getting all of that done. And I think what I'm going to do, actually, is do all of the backgrounds first. And then go back. So we're going to see what we can get done. And again, just digging into your scraps is awesome. So I'm just going to line everything up. So that's one. Again, just nothing too fancy. Good morning, Anthony. How are you? And then I'll just keep piling my scraps over here, because I'll go back and use them so that they don't go back into my container. And again, remember, we can use any papers that we want. And when I've got that big piece, In a way, yes, we are creating mini master boards, but they're not too detailed. Good morning, Biddy. How are you? We are just having fun with our scraps. Not worrying about the cuts. Oh, I like that. We'll go with that side. Oops. So I hope some of you were able to join me and Biddy yesterday. Had a ball. Oh, I like that one too. But we're going to go with the dots. And yes, even if it's black cardstock, we go around the edge because then it takes away that white edge after you cut it. Not sure about that one. '76th birthday, Cordelia. That's awesome. Well, yes, that is more important than watching YouTube. We went to one of my husband's cousin's house yesterday. They do this big Christmas party, and it was a nice time. Kids enjoyed it. So what is everyone working on? Oh, so you got a lot of snow too. Oh, that's a shame you can't bake your cookies. Make sure you stay warm. And like I said, in case you should hear the wonderful whirl of snowblowers and shovels, I apologize. And then hopefully the winds are supposed to pick up. So hopefully everything will hang on. If not, we'll see the pictures. Here's that one. And I think, honestly, I'm going to leave that up there. We can leave some of the craft showing. that one. But when I woke up this morning, it does look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And they were calling for 2 to 4 for our area. And I think we got more than that. I think we definitely got more than that. I took care of the grocery shopping yesterday, so I didn't have to worry about that this morning. So that was all done. But I will have to be an adult when I'm done here. Gotta clean. Not a fan of cleaning. Nope. I don't know anybody who is, but you know, you never know. Okay, I'll probably cover that up, so I'm not going to worry about that. And on mine and Biddy's live, I got a couple Christmas gifts done, so that was exciting. Still have more to do though. Yeah. I know my sister's going to want more tags, so yeah, I gotta get cracking with that. Anthony, did I just read that right? That you would take the snow and the cold 365 days a year? Really? I don't know about that. And this is a great, quick way to create your cards. Cards that you might need if you like the vintage style. You don't have to use vintage photo. Well, I thought, yes, I did. Let's pull another one in. That'll get covered up. Let's do a next one. can just leave the bases just as they are right now and just add a sentiment. Again, just cut up your pattern paper and have fun with it. Whether it's a new pad, don't measure, don't do anything like that. It's not necessary. But if you like to measure, you can certainly do that. And yes, these finished size cards are going to be 4 by 5.5. So it's even smaller than the standard A2 size card. I know, it's shocking. When I'm collaging, I think it's easier for me to work on a smaller base. But when I make cards, it's a struggle. It is a struggle. The struggle is definitely real, at least for me. And I know Biddy and I were talking about that yesterday. And you'll have a few giggles. I finished the next 5 projects 1 card kit that will be coming out soon. I think that's going to start tomorrow night. And all the cards, there's 4 cards, and they're all A2 size. Yes, you heard that right. And it was definitely challenging to come up with designs for it. And I don't know why. Well, it's not what I'm used to. Once I made my first 5 by 7 card, just kind of took off from there. For the designs. I find I never know what I'm going to add. I have an idea. And we always have an idea when we create of what we want to do, what we're looking for, but I always find I keep adding. So I always need that real estate. I'm always tucking something in or out. And I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to do next. I know that the 5 projects 1 kits are going to run into 2026. I am good with not being done in time. I think I'm going to add that strip right there. I think I'm going to add it down on the bottom. We'll add that strip right there. And remember, if you have any questions, put them in caps, because then I'll see them. And hopefully I won't miss them. Last two panels we are going to do. Do I ever ink the pieces when I make a large master board? I do. I do. If I want it to be a true vintage feel, yes. Yes. I will absolutely do that, Anthony. I will take the time to ink each piece up, especially when I'm using all the different papers like these. These aren't, necessarily vintage style papers, but just by adding the vintage photo, it'll pull into that. It'll pull it all together. Plus, when you're stamping, when you're putting all of those, okay, that is just going to go right there. But by the time you're done stamping and splattering and putting all of those details on it, those, the light blues, the pinks, those non-traditional colors from, even if you used a floral, you don't have to use Christmas papers for your piece. They'll just push back, and they won't even be noticeable. But yeah, that's when I really want it to be a vintage grungy style board. So yeah. But yeah, we did our let's see, making sure there's no questions. Below 68 is too cold. Okay. Well, by the end of this week, we're going up to the high 40s. So, yes, that is going to feel like summer for us. We've been hit with very cold weather. Now I'm just using up some of these scraps that I've got here, just to use them up so that they don't go back in. I'm coming close to my end of year clean out, where, if I've got a scrap in my bin this size, yeah, And I do find it therapeutic to, at the end of the year, to just do a clean out. I get to look at everything again. It's almost like everything that's old can sometimes become new. It also helps me to come up with ideas for 2026. I'm always changing and evolving the channel. Because I want new things to come in, and there will be changes coming in. And then I think something very special is going to be coming in. Just has to be finalized. And that's going to be a new series. So I think that is going, I cannot wait. Definitely have to figure this out. All right, that one. And let's see. Yeah, we can fit that there. And we'll actually fit this one here. But anyway, so yeah, I was a little nervous going into the showcase. You know, I watch others and how they did on their craft shows, and I don't know, I was getting a little nervous with what I was hearing. But no, mine was the exact opposite. Okay. See, that's what I ended up with. Alright, so the scraps, and look, we're only half an hour in, and we've got 10 bases. 10 wonderful, wonderful bases that we are going to work on in no time. No time. Awesome, Anthony. Enjoy your craft room. Let's see. All right. Just checking the comments. All right. So now we have these. Oh, I need those. Get those out of there. Let's put our other pieces in there. I'm going to try to stay neat. Yeah, that's not going to work. But, you know, there's always hope trying. Yeah. All right. Can't resist when we do mini master boards like we did here. I can't resist. Got to do some stamping, right? All right, so I didn't grab any, but let me be right back. Let's grab some stamps. Okay. So I chose a background for them. And one of the backgrounds I have, and I'm going to get my paper pad, because then I don't have to clean this up. I'm still trying to get my glass mat in here and make it work. Oh, thank you, Gwen. All right, so I have this one. It's by Stampendous, and it's like one of the few 6x6. It's got a great background. So it's Christmas themed, and no matter what section I'll take, it's just got that feeling to it. You know, and even if I just take it and just boom, I'm not going to put this in my stamp positioner because I don't want a clear stamp of the image. And I'm just going to keep it on its film. And I am going to do this in black. And whenever I do stamping over my... All right, I'm doing yoga here. And ow. Okay, shouldn't do that. There we go. And no matter when I do my stamping, like over the mini master boards, I always choose my archival inks. And I think this background, we're going to do this in black. And what I'm going to do, just going to ink this up. We're going to pick this up. And we're just going to roll it so that we just have a slight impression. I don't look for anything perfect. You can do it the reverse. Oh, I need it to go like that. And then I can take my piece, lay it down, press, lift up. And again, I just get this hint of the stamping in the back. Now, if you want it to be seen or anything like that, then you can certainly make sure you put it in your stamp positioning tool to get that clear impression. Because this would look great, you know, being that clear impression. I do not know if this stamp set is still around. So I'm just going to get those done. So like that was positioned perfectly. You know, you see the December, you see the Chew, Noel, Believe. It's a great stamp set. So when it comes to, I don't use background stamps very often. Matter of fact, I just got done going through mine. But a script style background stamp, like if you're doing journals or master boards, to me are very critical so that you can get just a faint stamping in the background. And something like this is pretty cool because it does all the work for you. And that is our last one. There we go. But yeah, always do archival. Because when I do the winter storm splatters, it won't pick that up. I don't know, or I don't see. Oh, it's called Cling Christmas List, if anyone's curious. But again, I don't know. I mean, this is from, oh, there's no year on it. Yeah, this is an old one. I've had this for forever. done with that. And then I'm also going to be using this. Now this is from winter time. I don't know where I got this, but it's all Christmas themed, like a snowflake. And I think I'm going to wait to do that stamping after I get now the focal points on them. And I think, well, matter of fact, I know I'm going to do those in a red. So I've got my mini archival ink red out. All right, let's get to collaging. And let's pull out anything that would look cute. You know what? I like that. That's too big. That one's too, although I do like that one. No, it's landscape. These have a shiny film on them. That's too big. The ones I'm not using, I'm pushing them up there. I like that one. That might work. So, and this is just what I do. I just go through the pieces, pull out the ones that I think will look good, and then I play from that. Again, don't overthink it. It's not good when we overthink it. And the smaller pieces, or maybe a sentiment, I'll make a separate pile of those. When we overthink things, it slows us down. Oh, here's a smaller version of that. Oh, okay, I like that. It will slow you down, and we don't want that to happen. We want to get to it. Crack on, as a friend says to me all the time. And these items just need to be used up. I don't know if I want to add any poinsettias. I know, shocking. I can cut some of those pieces out. These are the papers. And I think that's me as I keep grabbing. Never know, gotta keep my options open. Gotta keep the options open. All right. And I think that's all I'll grab. Let's get those away so I don't see those anymore. Now I do know for this one, and now I'll keep my piles off here. I'll work on this one first. So I'm going to put that there. Fits perfectly. And I want to add a paper doll. And I'd like to have a family. kind of, or a little girl. How about a little girl? How about a little girl and a little boy? Zay. So we're going to combine this. Okay, I like those. Now, for the background, I don't want that background to show. So we're just going to get a piece of coffee dye paper. And we're just going to cut a snippet. Just like that. So then now that will sit like that. I am going to glue my little one here. Although that probably would have looked really cute sitting there. We're going to just... And I know, I'm sorry, I have to cut. I'm glad these are slick. I can shift them around still. And now we'll do the same thing with this one. There we go. And now we'll just set some glue in here. Just to make sure they stay. And then we will set our coffee dyed paper in the back. And that is our focal point. Yay. And we're going to ink around. And I'm going to add one of these for the sentiment. There we go. All right, first one done. And we'll prop that up. Can't resist dimension. Oh, Vicky, have a good one. just looking at the comments, getting caught up. Oh, Shay, I hope thoughts are coming your way. Oh, I was about to put cheer upside down. Oh my goodness. And we'll put that there. So that's our first one. And I'm not going to add, I mean, I could add some red stamping to this. Let's see. Let's get a block. Need a block? Can I? Nope. Choose this one because then we know that one. Let's get this one here. So just a hint. Again, it's not going to show up perfectly, and that's okay. Not worried about if they're straight. And I am going to work at my 3s. So yeah, I'll just come right across that. So now this is what the cards will be. So I have my black mat. First, though, I do want to come around, and I'm going to go heavy-handed with the vintage photo. So really bring it up around the edge. And then for the transition to the black mat, I'm going to bring in the scorched timber. And that's just going to sit along the edge. So I'm angling the blending tool almost flat against it. And then this panel will go on our mat. And here's our card base, and then this will go sit on our card base. If I put it on straight. And that is pretty much what our card will look like. So vintage, Christmas, all kinds of fun, scrappy fun. Yes, we need to have scrappy, scrappy fun. And let's see how many we can get done. Oh, I really like that one on there. Oh, let's see. Okay, that's funny, Cordell. Yes, and probably a true statement, yes. Our partner should be very lucky. I'm going to tear off the edge of this, but I don't want to lose all the edge. You could use a paper distressor, but I don't want the fuzzies. Just saying. just having fun with it. Because when I glue that down, it'll curl up. Now let's add some fun pieces. And no, you don't have to, collage a lot. Just adding a piece here and a piece there is honestly enough. Especially when you have your mini master boards. Now when I put, oh, I like that. I'm just going to put glue down the center. I'll set that on an angle because then those sides can stay curled up. Plus, I can then take this piece, tuck that right there. And then here I'm going to put glue on this side and glue on this side. And I'm going to go over the corner, but let it come up a little bit. So just like that, without using double-sided foam squares, you've got, texture and dimension. And it'll flatten out your envelope and it'll come back up once your recipient gets it. Let's look. I'm going to try this one because I really, really like that one. There, let's try it this way. There we go. Just a little something down there. And now we'll get this one on our card base. Number 2. Well, hello, Story. How are you doing? Oh, Shay, thank you. Yeah, just slap it all together. Just for me though, I mean, for this process, I really do feel, and I know I've said this before, I really do feel that the vintage photo just pulls it all together. That vintage photo, I mean, here I've got a teal, this is a pink, this is a pink, dark traditional colors and a black polka dot. But because of the vintage photo, it just pulls it all together. It takes away that bright pink and that bright teal. So you can use anything. Again, you could have used florals in the background. It doesn't have to be Christmas papers. I just do think that this vintage photo or a brown or even any other color, it just pulls anything that you want to go together. It doesn't matter what that is. We don't have to worry, okay, well now does this paper go together? Get the thought process out of there. Just and it's tough. It's tough to do that. I will say that. It is tough to do that. I'm not going to pull in my tapes. I was thinking about that for a second, but I'm not going to pull in my tapes. Just slap away. It's just, have fun with it. I do want to use this one. Put that there. Set that there. I don't know about that one though, because it's pretty dark. That's a dark vibe going on there. What is going on here? Like that. I think I'm just going to go with these three. And if you hear that sound, that would be Max snoring. Bless his heart. Yes. I'm not sure how he's breathing with his head buried. But yeah. And again, whenever I glue, I always keep the glue to the center because you never know what I'm going to put. I want to be able to tuck something up underneath. I don't commit. You can see while I'm placing them and I'm putting the glue, I'm not pushing down yet. But now I will. So now we have that. You need something just a little, just a little. And I think it's shiny. Oh, they're both shiny. Oh, great. And again, guys, remember, it's paper. We can bend it up. We can do all kinds of fun things with it. The glue will stick it back down. And we're just going to tear that end off. Yeah, kind of breaks it up just a little bit. Kind of helps to put those up into the forefront. And for this one, oh, sorry, I was I didn't need to be waving back and forth there. That's another way that I think I'll sit here and I'll do this and look at something. I'm sorry. I don't want anyone to get seasick. Why do I keep doing that? You guys are learning all about me now. Next one done. And are you all waiting for the splatters? Because you know the splatters are coming in. I cannot make a vintage Christmas card without splatters. And here's the best thing. Well, it's all the best thing. Whenever we're creating and having fun, it's always the best thing. We are only just over an hour, and we've already got 3 cards completely done, and the other 7 bases are ready to go. And I'm making a total of 10. 10 of these cards for my husband. So Yeah, it can go quick. And again, it's just by pulling things out, setting them off to the side. So it's almost like limiting your palette. Like when we watercolor or use our coloring mediums. Um, oh, I did forget to do the sides of those, but that's okay. See, just let it go. When you limit yourself, it will help to take the stress or the concern out of, okay, what do I do here or what do I do here? Okay, well, this is really tiny. You know, pull out your pieces first or close your eyes and just pull out a stack of stuff. And that will help as well. So that you don't worry about, okay, what am I choosing here? What am I choosing here? Is this going to work? And all that. So that's something that you can challenge yourself with, you know, even in your scraps. Just pull out a hunk of scraps and stick with that. And don't go back in unless you need more. And if you do, close your eyes again and just pull out that hunk of stuff and work with that. All right, so now I'm going to remember to go in with the vintage photo. Again, heavy-handed, bringing it in further. And I could do this first, but I want to make sure the pieces, because I could come up on the pieces, and I like that. And then coming in on the side, which scorched timber. So next, I want to let you guys know. So what's today? The 14th? Yes. So the 21st, next Sunday, I will not be live. I know. I'm upset too. I will be with my sister. Um, all weekend. And I call it the Mary Jingle walk. HE double hockey sticks. Yes, because um, we're just constant. We just go around to different stores and we walk around and yeah, we're doing our Christmas shopping, but really we're just looking and just having fun. Drinking lots of Starbucks venti white chocolate mocha. Um, and just having a good time. And we do that from early Saturday morning to like midnight, and then we do it again on Sunday. So I'll check in, let you all know that I'm still walking and breathing, but I will not be live next Sunday. I will be live on the 28th, though. That I will be. Yes. Oh, Cordelia. No, don't holler at my sister. No, 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 don't do that. No, 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 no. But yes, it's Vintage photo, it does. It just, it's, at least for me, it's what I think. Not everybody thinks that. There are some out there, and it's okay. They are not fans of the vintage photo. They feel, I've heard some say that they feel it makes it look dirty. And okay, I get it. Never taking away what other people feel. I'm going to keep that straight edge there, and I need this to actually be segregated here. And the vintage photo will do that. But black soot also does it, or a black ink. And again, it doesn't have to be vintage photo. It can be any brown. I would make it a warm brown. A dark brown. Again, any ink. We'll put that there. This is will this fit? I really, for some reason, nope. It's just, nope, 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 nope. And I think that would look cute up there. So, again, it doesn't have to be this color. I think the neutrals make it work the best. This I know I'm going to prop up. Yep, we're going to ink this little guy. Mm-hmm. And Shay, I'm glad that you're breaking that. Oh, she's going to have to sit in timeout. Okay. Oh, my. Okay. It is. Shay, it is. It's just paper. It's got two sides. One side might be more attractive than the other, and I usually realize that after, I've glued the one side down. But it is. It's just paper. Other things can be found. We don't need all the foam and the stuff because we can bend it, rip it, tear it, and just have fun with it. I think I'm going to have that go boink. Right there. And then I think I'm going to just tuck a little sleeve underneath that. But I will say this. I get it. I've been there, done that. I would stress over, okay, does this look right? Now, the only thing I do still, like, really focus on, and it kind of can, like, throw me off, is I do work in odd numbers when it comes to this. So, like, right now, I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's kind of throwing me off just a little bit. So I've got to put something small on here. And I'm okay that there's two 25s there. I want to reinforce the 25th. I just want to just reinforce all of that. So that's the only thing that I do kind of sort of still focus on. When it comes to some things. when I stamp in threes. So those are the only things that could. But I don't worry about how I'm stamping. Just stamp. Just get it down there. Just let it go. But always, just have fun. Just, just absolutely have fun. And if you find that one card that you just fall in love with, you just look at it and say, yes. Make it your home decor. Make it that home decor piece that will either sit in your craft room or will sit in your living room where you sit the most, and just enjoy it. Just keep looking at it and tell yourself, I did that. Because you did. You made art. You made art. I think I've got 5 done already. And what time is it? It's 77 minutes in. Okay. I am going to try to, I know this is going to make everyone sad, by around 11, because I feel bad. I need to help the hubs with the shuffling. I feel bad. But I don't know if I'll have it done before I get out there. So, there's that. That one would be fun, going right up the side there. No. It would be, but oh, and I do have a little poinsettia. There we go. And I'll totally forget how this goes together. Work. And don't even think about your placement. Just make sure they're not upside down, but just get your pieces placed. And again, I don't worry about glue all the way to the edges. I just get that there. All right, now I need a thin, or at least I want a thin one. can even use the same stamp. It's my husband giggling. If you hear that. I'm really liking this stamp set, and I need to clean my fingers. Oh my goodness. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Ave, good morning. Hello, Linda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, that's a little better. I think this is the fastest I've ever created cards. But I'm having fun. And I hope I'm getting you inspired. Dump into those scraps. Have fun with them. And again, your stamps don't even have to be vintage either. You can use any type of small stamp. It could be a sentiment, or you're just stamping that in the background as well. There you go. Next. All right, now this one, I'm going to cut out the bird. These are those cards that Tim Holtz came out with. I'm going to keep those little pieces. Let's see, can I... I'm going to try it again. Nope. I don't think that piece is destined to come in. Just not destined. Oh, we're good. Mm. That's fun. Oh, my goodness. Right, I don't know how this one goes. Let me look at the thing. Okay, so it goes that way. And say we kept breathing through that. It's all good. Even if it did leave a mark, it would be fine. We just add to it. Just saying. It's getting brighter outside now. All right, we actually have 3 more left. So sometimes you can even, or what I like to do, is just line them up. These are great for production style. Because again, you just throw things down. You don't, I'm going to put that there. You don't have to worry about what's going to go where. And say, I just covered that up. So, it all works. It's going to go there. I like that on there. Oh, I also like that actually layering up on that. And that's going to go there. Ooh. I'm feeling a paper doll. A sitting paper doll. All right, now come on. I know I've got a sitting paper doll. Any other time, I see them all the time. Ha. Ha. Come on. Oh. No, that would be a bad sitting paper doll. It's on a sled. But create your way. Maybe you would like that look. You know, you don't know. No. Maybe I'm not going to get what I wanted. Lots of sleds. Lots of sleds. I'm still determined. Hang on. Okay, no, that's too big. All right. Let it go. No, 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 no. there. Put that there. Like that. Oh, okay. If I move that there, no. Still not going to work. But I think it's... There we go. Finally got to use my stocking. I was determined to use my stocking. No. See, this is what goes in my brain. We just keep saying, no. No. There's that ticket. Got that. Got those. And done. Done. I don't think I've ever hummed on my channel. Okay. I think a chill is coming in the air because we are going to come in with some more snow. And that's all I use. Usually when I do a collage piece like this, I just use white. We got that. Trying to remember how I did all this. We had that. We had this. We had this. And then we're going to add this. That's that one. Oh, this one's not going to be fun to ink. But we can do it. Just go lightly. Glad I cleaned my fingers. Oh. All right. Let's get this set. Now, for these dainty little things, I am just going to put a dot of glue. Just so that it holds those down. because they're really tiny. And now this one. This I'm going to prop up. I do want that propped up. And you can use whatever you want to prop your pieces up. Scrap paper, cardboard, anything you got. Alright, so let's a piece would actually look pretty with some brads on it. Oi. These release papers. I'm going to put some glue on those. I also find, too, that if you're short of time or pressured for it, that's another thing that can help you to just let go and say, okay, you know what? I need to get these done. I do not have time to think. It's like crafting art on the fly. You know, just go with it. Not the creepy people. Hi, Jock. How are you doing? I'm just looking at the comments. Yes, Ave, I have used that I know what you meant. Um, Glue. It's like on an angle. It's got a red cap, I think. Yeah, I use it in my scrapbook albums. If I'm not mistaken, it's a PVC glue. Um, Shake them up really well. Mine were not difficult to come out of the bottle. They were not thick. It was not a thick. Um, and yeah, I agree with Shay. I would, if you bought them in a store, um, I would ask them about it and just question that, or maybe it's a specific type of. At least I believe mine was PVC glue because it should be flexible. PVC glue's flexible. That, and I can put all of my ephemera away. These are the pieces that I didn't use, so I did very well. Look at that. Okay. And I'm going to put those back into their pots. Because I don't, I'm cleaning here. It's just saying. Actually, cleaning as I go. Those can go away. Let's get some stamping. And then one more. I like the date. Alright, our stamping's done. We are just rocking and rolling along. Oh, see, that's scrap. Now all my stamps are a nice pretty red. It's awesome. Now let's get these onto our mats, onto our card bases. Oops. I want the fireplace one. Now, and here's, so I'm using Tim Holtz Ephemera layer pieces and so forth. You don't have to use those. Sometimes, I mean, you all know I am a huge fan of Tim Holtz, absolutely. But you don't have to get, because sometimes there's pieces in there that you don't like. Yeah, I think I got a cold basically. Sometimes you don't like all the pieces that are in there. So I do suggest, maybe looking at a digital if you have access to a printer. And then you can print your ephemera die cut pieces out that you want. And it's also, cost effective as well. You could pay $2-3 for a digital with all kinds of pieces of ephemera, and you'll have it, forever. And don't get me wrong, you get a lot of pieces in these ephemera packs. I've had these packs for a long time, and I've only scratched into the surface of them. So I am in the mode of using up what I have. Very much so. Yes. Got to use up what I have. All right. use, well, which is cool, didn't use our stickers. I think I'm going to have these forever. I'm going to clear the decks. Let's look at the cards that we made, and we are only just over an hour and a half, it looks like. And 10 cards. The creepy people. Avi's calling the paper dolls the creepy people. Okay. They're not creepy. Oh. And Ave, you too. You can make your collages look good as well. And don't tell me no. I know you're shaking your head no. I feel it. Just don't think about it. All right, let me grab my white paint that I have no idea where I put. Oh, I found it. So I'm going to use my white acrylic. I love using white acrylic paint for splatters. It just works. And oh my goodness, do I have to get... There we go. It's almost empty. We're going to add some water. And for your splatters, if you have it too thick, that's when it'll go all over the place. Yes, I have done the science on splattering. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying. I have done the research. I'm going to use my mini fan brush here. We're going to mix this up. You want your... And I probably have too much water in this. You want the consistency for your splatters to be like a heavy cream. I don't want to say thick, but you want it to be that consistency. I do find that a fan brush does work better. Yeah, I think there's too much water in that. Let me move that card out of the way first. Let's test this on a piece of scrap. So see how big the drops are? That just means that there's too much water in there. Don't get me wrong, I like that. But again, to each his own. So I'm just going to put a little bit more of white acrylic paint in here. I'm going to use up what's left in here. There we go. Drop, 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 drop. It'll just come out. But you do want that consistency, not water, but you want it like a cream that you would put in your coffee, let's say that, or a heavy whipping cream that you would use to whip up, or whipped cream. You want that, and that's my consistency. So see how that's moving around. You want to make sure that it's smushed down. So always, this brush is dedicated to this because I smash it so that I can get the paint mixed in. And then if we try it again, don't worry, I'll use these panels. Now you can see they're much thinner, but I'm going to get a lot. So that's the consistency you're looking for when it comes to this. Let's look at our cards first, because we did 10, right? We did 10. So here's that one. Let's see, maybe can I zoom out just a little bit? Here we go. And then we have the fireplace. And the acrylic paint will go on to those items that are shiny. All right, and again, these are all collaged, torn papers. You can do the same thing with all kinds of pattern papers and use the cut aparts as the focal points. So many options that you can do. And there's the dolls. I had to put one of the dolls in. They're cute. They're very cute. Okay. So I'm going to do 4 at a time. First set will be 2. And we're just going to put them down. Do I want to put paper down? I'll put a board down. There we go. I don't care if these get gunked up. And here it comes. So I dip in, I wipe off a little bit, and then I just start tapping. And then once I know I've got that base, then I'll start going heavier, because to me, the more splatters, the better. You can never have enough splatters. If I don't take too much off, I will get the bigger splatters. And I like that as well. The splatters to me do not take away from the piece. I think they enhance it every time. I also don't worry about, is the image getting covered up? Is the sentiment still seen? I just don't worry about that. I just go to town with it. You can tell that, and I'll actually turn these this way. You can tell that these are Christmas cards. So you don't need to, have that defined. And again, it all depends on how you want to create. If there is a face, I do make sure though I don't cover up the face. That would be rude. When you brush off to the side here that you can't see, you don't get the big droplets. If you just tap it off like this, that's where the big droplets will come in. So there is a science to this. And yes, I have broken it down for you here. There's just times that, I wonder. And I just look. It will also depend on the image for me if I want large or small droplets. It's a process. It is absolutely a process. Right? And I'm just wiping this board down so that I don't get paint on the other side of the bases, but I don't worry about it. Again, it took me a long time to get to this point, to not worry about what's going on with the paper. Is it neat? Is it this? Are they going to like it? Are they going to hate it? It did take a long time for me to get to that point. And you will too. cannot worry about what other people are thinking and all of that. We do this because we love it. We love to do this. And this is also another reason why I do use my archival inks. They will not come up into the splatters. The splatters will stay white, and it will pick up some of the um, vintage photo on the side. And this, I do put that in a jar when I have a lot extra. I will wipe that down, and then we will take a look at what we got. I love those boards. All right. So I'm just going to pull some of these in so that you can see it. The white will go back because there is such a high water, so it does soften, which is okay. So these are the ones that I can fit in the screen. So we did 10. So you're just not seeing 2 of them. But we got 10 cards done in under 2 hours. So guys, dig into your scraps. Whether it's Christmas scraps, whether it's general card, pattern paper scraps. Just dig into them. Have fun. You don't have to use vintage photo. You can use black soot. You can use a navy blue. Any color. You could use a gray. I do count like a navy blue into neutrals. I know it's not. It's a cool color. I get it. Somebody's going to go, it's a cool color. Yes, it is. But it's dark. If you go into other colors like reds or greens, go into those super dark, rich colors, and then that kind of pulls in the concept of the neutrals of any brown, any gray, any black that you can go around. Or don't do it. You don't have to. Maybe just somehow outline or frame your focal point on top. So you could take this focal point and put a mat around it and have all of your pieces not vintage photo in the back to bring that out. I just enjoy when it comes to the vintage feel, the vintage look. And for me, that's vintage photo. Then it just comes in. And the white splatters. It just pulls that in for me. All right. So dig into them. Just grab a 4x4 piece of scratch cardstock and just layer on it. And what you're making is, yes, these are mini master boards, but they're not like I had shown in Podia where, I mean, you just go to town stamping and layering and tearing and all of that when it comes to, creating those large master boards. All right. So have fun with it. And it'll help you. You'll just, don't worry. Again, close your eyes, put your hand in that bucket or that bag, just grab a whole pile and just create with that. Don't go back into it unless you run out. Close your eyes again, pull more out. And then that will help you as well to just dig into there and have fun. Feel the paper and let that paper shine. Use up those scraps. We are coming to the end of the year. A new year is coming. So use up what we have and find different ways to create with what we have. All right? So remember, I know my sister's going to be in a timeout, but I will not be live next week. All right? I will be on the 28th, though, after the holidays. And we'll have some fun there. All right? You will start seeing the 5 Project 1 kit coming out this week that I did. And I used the Simon Says Stamp and Gina K Create Live kit or create with me kit. So if you wanted to see what they did, I'll link down to their video. Oh God, these two were hysterical. They were just fun to listen to. See how they created the cards, and then you can see the 5 projects I did. Be surprised and be amazed. Yes, I only used an A2 size card base for all the cards that were done in that series. And then what the last one was not a card. I had to go off into a different size of something. But you'll see all of the different creations. If you were able to get that kit, I don't believe it's available any longer. The individual pieces are, I believe, but I had a lot of fun with that. I'm going to figure out what the next one is. So, again, all of them will not be done before Christmas, but Christmas is just, the holidays are just going to keep going for me. I love making holiday cards. It is something that I gravitate to. So I'm just going to keep those going because I want to use them and show you and inspire you because maybe you have something like that, and I'm sure you do. You have something like it in your stash to create um, the way that you want to create. So, Podia, we are going to have our series going on in there. So, in the first tier, we are going to do a play on simplicity, where we're just going to use our paper and kind of show this process in a different way. Not turn it into vintage. You can use it for any holiday that you want because we coming up into next year. So just how you can take those focal points and lift them up with the solid cardstock. So you'll see that in there, or I might change it. The first tier, I'm kind of toying with a couple different ideas. So if you all have suggestions, send me a message if you're in there. For the second tier, we are going to play with a couple tiles that are going to come out from the Zentangle Project Pack 28. I have been so inspired, and they are focusing on one of my favorite people that I studied, and that's Leonardo da Vinci. Absolutely love it, love what they're doing. So we're going to do a couple things there, or at least one tile, and then there's going to be a couple tangles in there. The first tier will also see another tangle coming out. And then the third group, yeah, I have no idea. Haven't figured that one out yet. But it'll be something for sure. Absolutely. If you are in my community, thank you. And I hope you'll join us there because, again, the first tier, it is free. There is no charge. And they're full-length tutorials that are step by step. So if you think I'm Gabby here, lots of information going on in there. And in the second tier for the month of January, we are going to do the fragment challenge. So every day a new fragment will be coming out. Um, and we'll have fun with that. And we'll learn a little bit about fragments in there as well. All right, so that is my plans getting to the end of the year. And also by the end of this year, we are going to have a play with the new Scrappy Tales launch with what she did with the tunnels. So there's a couple tunnels and a card that I'll be coming out with on that. All right. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Dig in, enjoy, have fun. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the process and use up what we have. I'm totally grateful for you all. Guys, please continue to stay safe and healthy. Just take care of yourselves always. If you need anything, always reach out. Thank you so much for being here. I know we will speak before the holidays. Maybe I'll squeeze a live in before the holidays. But if I don't, I hope you all, no matter what holiday you celebrate during this month, that you enjoy it, that it's peaceful, that it's wonderful, that you're spending time with family and friends, and just having a good time and enjoying this time. It's where people smile. It is the one part of the year that people smile. And I think that's wonderful. Take care of yourselves. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. But enjoy, and I will see you or have crafting with you in 2 weeks live. Till then, guys, take care. Bye.